Hey everybody, I'm Jason.
And I'm Gary.
We're here talking about the new Liquid Force Hippy Stick line of boards with our Moon Patrol.
And our Spacecraft.
So the Moon Patrol and the Spacecraft are directional twin tips. So they have a specific nose and a specific tail. And you ride them with your strong foot forward. Mainly for carving, slashing, jumping, and just having a general good time.
Exactly. And I know what all you guys are thinking, and gals, right now, right out the gate, is you're going, oh, that looks like a mutant that I rode back in the day.
Not a mutant.
Not a mutant. Definitely inspired by the mutant tech from back in the day, but now we're talking 2017, folks.
So what we have here is we've taken our profiled core boards and we've taken a couple of our tried and true approved rocker lines and we've combined them together to get these directional twin shapes. So we have on both of these boards, we have a legacy nose rocker for a little bit more flip in the nose, giving you that carvability, that sort of fun, freedom to really lay into your cars without having the nose bury. And then we have a drive tail rocker, which is another one of our great boards. And that gives you a little bit of upwind ability and just a little bit more sort of directional feeling performance out of the board.
The beautiful thing about these boards is they do have what's called Hippy Tech and TFR technology. So what's the Hippy Tech out the gate?
So the Hippy Tech is the hips of the board, or the wide point of the board, is altered a little bit. So on the Spacecraft there, it's been pulled back, much like the stance. So the stance is set back, giving you more nose and a little bit shorter tail. The outline has been pulled back. Although it is symmetrical, it's pulled back to be centered within the stance. And then on the Moon Patrol here, we have a slightly tapered tail. So the tail tapers out, the hips sort of fade away a little bit. And you still have that nice set back stance, giving you more nose and a little bit less tail. And you can see on these, we also have a 4-pack of inserts in both of these boards, just to give you a little bit more freedom of stance adjustment. If you want a really short tail and a big nose, if you want to keep yourself a little bit more centered, or if you want to just play around, narrow stance, wide stance, whatever you want, you can do it on these boards.
So TFR, what that means is tips, front and rear. Or there's another term for it that you can find out about later. But that's basically what it is. And these boards, very different from the mutants of past, are you can ride them off the front of the board just as easily off the tail. So that means you don't always have to be riding nose first. They're gonna jam up wind even if you're riding it tail first. So it makes it easier to chicken jibe, just more comfortable overall, and actually opens up a whole new realm of freedom on the Spacecraft or on the Moon Patrol to get out there and carve a ton. A little bit of the idea behind the two boards too. Jason and myself are doing this together because we had this big epiphany one day coming off the river on a really windy day where we're like, man, how rad would it be to have a kite board sort of feel like a snowboard in the way it rides? And we started to brainstorm the idea, and that's really where this spun off from, is some of the modern shapes of what the snowboards have going on right now. So for example, the Spacecraft, this is a board that I would equate snowboard wise to being something you would ride more like in the park, or carving around the groomers and all that kind of stuff, and just slashing around the resort, so to speak. So in terms of how the hips are placed back a little bit, the stance placed back, you're still a little bit more centered, not as much nose per se as that's going on the Moon Patrol, and it has more of that kind of carvy, slashy, inbounds feel. Well,
and then the Moon Patrol, you know, a little bit more like the kind of powder boards or the shorter powder boards that are out there. This thing gives you a little bit less surface area in the tail, kind of a really pulled in nose, so you can literally lay into a carve as hard as you want, never bury the nose. It is a 146, but the way we've done it with this blunted nose is it has a little bit of a bigger board outline, so it has a rail sort of about a 148, which just gives you that really playful carvability, yet even with this nice moon tail here, jams upwind, you can still pop off that sort of tail first for takeoffs, for landings, and really just drives upwind well, so that you can focus on doing all of your, you know, carves, jumps, and fun ripping with your strong foot forward.
The other thing is both boards share the same bottom contour. So We have a nice proven bottom contour in here, which is a nice shallow tip to tip concave. That's always proven really well for chopping up wind, smoothing out kind of rougher conditions or heavy chop, releasing on jumps, and also making the landings nice and smooth. So we really like that particular shape for the bottom. The other thing is when you do get this board, it comes with 6 fins. Now you see that there's only holes for 4 fins, but you have the option if you want to fin up in the tail of the board.
So you can see on this, we have it set up with the 4 cm fins in the front and the 5 cm fins in the tail, so give you a little bit more of that surf slashy feel. And on the Spacecraft there, we have it set up right here with the 4 cm set all the way around. So if you want that little looser feeling, again, more twin tippy oriented, you can set yourself up with a set of 4s. You can set yourself up with 4s in the front, 5s in the back. You can go 5s on your heel side rail. You can do whatever you want, play around. These boards are all about fun, amazing on the water, whether you're in the river, ocean, lake, small knee-high surf, double overhead waves, hippie sticks. Get out there and try it.
Peace, brah.